Today's topic is about office communication in a sense. So we're looking on how the doctor can communicate with the staff and how the staff can communicate with the doctor. Sometimes we use the word from the staff's perspective, how do we manage the doctor? How do we express these things? And this is a very charged topic, and this kind of came about from last month's study club. We talked about office drama. But communication is really key. So we're going to start first and listen to our head instructor, Larry Guzzardo.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's good to have everybody on board. When I look at like how do you manage your boss, I really think of how do you manage each other. Because anybody who works in a dental practice knows that you don't do this in a vacuum, and you don't do it by yourself. All the relationship in a dental practice takes a lot of give and take, and obviously when that relationship with each other is not managed well, I think the enjoyment of working in a dental practice goes down. I think performance suffers, and I think ultimately just the quality of care that you deliver is going to suffer as well. So you really can't manage other people per se. When I think of communicating with each other and managing each other, what really comes to mind is that you can only manage yourself. You can only take a look at your own behavior and see how it's affecting other people. And what I've realized is if you change your own behavior, often it changes the behavior or the way other people respond to you. So you want to be able to develop a relationship based on being a good role model for people. And so that they recognize that you're the one who always contributes, you're the one who participates, you're the one, who raises their hand first. And so if you can do that, then you're going to have a more fruitful relationship with the people that are in your office. So, but let's kind of start with your boss. Let's just start with that relationship first. If I were an employee and I were working in a dental office, the first thing that I would want to do is kind of assess my boss's strengths. What is this person good at? Are they good at coming up with ideas? Are they good at directing people? What are their weaknesses? Do they shy away from conflict? Are they direct in their communication? Are they good problem solvers? I would also want to assess their expectations and even their leadership style. There's those three basic kind of leadership styles. One is the autocratic boss who kind of gives directions and tells you what to do and doesn't expect anything, from you in return. There's that more democratic leadership style where, the boss will ask people, what they think, before they make a decision. And then there's kind of that free reign leadership style where the boss kind of just says, well, you guys know what to do and I'll leave you to, take care of it. And so they kind of go off on their own. But you have to take a look at your boss's leadership style, and then you have to take a look at yourself. How do you follow the boss? Are you okay with minimal direction? Do you want to be able to participate in decisions that are being made? Or do you just want to be left alone to do what you need to do? So you have to take a look at yourself and how you respond, as well as looking at your own needs. I feel like this combined information is going to help you develop and maintain a relationship that fits both your needs, your styles, and your mutual expectations. So again, if I'm making any sense here, you have a boss and you've got yourself. And your boss is going to lead one way and you're going to follow a certain way. And so you have to pay attention to make sure that the way that boss leads is a way that you're comfortable following. So, I would take a look at what the boss is, good at and what they're not good at. Are there situations that trigger negative responses from your boss? Like, for instance, if there's an unfilled broken appointment or something like that, does he respond positively? When he's communicating with you? Does he, when he gets a patient compliment? So take a look at what your boss's strengths and weaknesses are. And then on the same flip side, you've got to take a look at your own strengths and your own weaknesses. Take a look at what situations you're most supportive. Take a look at what behaviors could be improved to assist your boss and other people in the office, and pay attention to those things. Look at what your team needs. There's probably 3 things that they need. They probably need more direction. They probably need more participation. And there's probably a certain amount of just leave me alone to figure it out that has to happen when you're kind of managing each other. But what I want you to understand is that it doesn't happen by waiting for somebody else to do it for you. If we're going to manage each other and work better along with our boss, we have to take a more active role in the way they respond and in the way that they do things. And I'd start by trying to understand, your boss's goals, their objectives, their values, and what they expect of you and your job. I wouldn't assume any of this because, the one who always assumes gets themselves into a lot of trouble. So good staff members, they find ways to get information. And of course, I'm saying it directed toward the boss, but it also means that you have to be directing it toward other staff members that you work with across departments.